Hello, this is Roseann Vitale, and in this video I will cover the safe placement and removal of blades on a medium, long, and extra long blade handle. Many times these medium long blades come in a paper packaging such as this one. As you can see on the packaging, it says edge, which points to the sharp edge of the blade, which is in this packaging. Gently open the packaging and remove this first layer of paper, which is covering the blade. As you can see, one end of the blade has holes on it and the other has a sharp beveled end. Be sure that you are removing the dull end of the blade and taking it out of the packaging. You note that there are holes here. What is going to happen is we are going to slide this blade into the handle and this screw will screw into the hole to hold it into place. You want to take the blade and make sure you're holding it at the edge, which is closest to where you'll place it into the handle. Oftentimes I see beginner learners attempting to hold on to this blade with forceps, or when they're placing it into the handle, they're holding the blade way out here, where you have much less control. So be sure that you're holding the blade very close to where you're placing it in, so that you can then gently glide it into the handle. Again, you want to make sure that the screw is loose and open so there's room for the blade to go in. Then you go ahead and finish the blade placement on the cutting board, pressing it down, and now tightening the screw here. After you are done using this blade, you will then want to unscrew the handle here, loosen that, and then take your forceps, place it into the opening, and gently pull the blade away. If you have an extra large sharps container, you may also place the edge of the blade onto the edge of the sharps container and pull. This is something that we can demonstrate in lab at a later date. So make sure that you then remove the blade using your forceps and place it into the large sharps container. I will then show the similar technique with the extra long blade handle and blade. This particular blade dispenser has a safety feature in which you pull away from this blue arrow and then push towards it. As you push towards it, the blade comes out. Again, it is quite obvious to identify the edge that has the blade. It is beveled. The opposite end has two openings. So I will make sure I have control of the blade. I'm holding on to it. And again, I'm going to make sure that I am holding the blade as I glide it and guide it into the blade handle. So I will make sure I press it all the way till it gets down. And once it's fully in there, I will again gently finish it on the cutting board and tighten it. Tighten the screw. When I'm finished, I will then loosen the screw that is holding the blade in place and either placing the blade on the edge of a large sharps container and pulling, or using my forceps to safely remove the blade. Again, you can always hold on to the blade and place it in there into the large sharps container. If for some reason the sharps container is somewhere else in the lab, not close to your gross bench, you have several options to help maintain safety. The first is, if it's a movable large sharps container, bring it to your station so that you do not have to travel throughout the lab with a sharp. If the sharp is mounted somewhere and you are unable to bring the sharps container to you, ensure that those around you are aware that you are walking with a sharp. Always let them know and say, "I am walking with a sharp," and wait for them to acknowledge you. You could have something set up in your lab, very simple, like "acknowledged" as a term that each person will say when they acknowledge that other person. This is something we can practice in lab, and is again something that may feel somewhat awkward at first, but ultimately will help prevent injury from accidentally walking into somebody who is carrying a sharp or hurting someone else. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching. Please let me know if you have any questions.